In the previous lesson, we learned the major scale horizontally, one string at a time. That gave us a strong feel for the intervals, but it also meant we had to leap across the fretboard to get from one note to the next. Now it's time to connect the fretboard in a smoother way. Anchor to anchor mapping lets you walk the scale through connected shapes instead of jumping all the time. This makes it easier to improvise, easier to play musical ideas, and easier to see the fretboard as one connected system. Here are the anchor to anchor connections in C major. If you have the low E string, you could pair them with D string, which is 2 string down, 2 frets forward. Then you could also go towards the G string. In that case, 3 strings down, 3 frets backward. Then if you imagine A string as the anchor, you could work towards the G string, which is 2 strings down, 2 frets forward. Or you could go towards the B string, 3 strings down, and 2 frets backwards. Then you could have D string as the anchor, and you could go towards the B string, which is 2 strings down, 3 frets forward. Or you could go towards high E string, 3 strings down, 2 frets backward. And lastly, if you have the G string as the anchor, you could go towards the high E string, 2 strings down, 3 frets forward. Think of these as landmarks on a map. The major scale notes between them are the roads. If our last lesson was about learning how long each road is, this lesson is about walking through the neighborhoods. So here's a demonstration of how to map C major anchor to anchor. And for this purpose, I'll go ahead and assign the fingering or fretting fingers a number. Index finger is number 1, middle finger is number 2, ring finger is 3, pinky is 4. Let's map this out in C major. I will start on the low E as the anchor, which is placed on 8th fret. I have finger number 2 there. I'm going to work towards D string as the anchor. I got finger number 2, finger number 4 on 10th fret, switch to A string, finger number 1 on 7th fret, finger number 2 on 8th fret, finger number 4 on 10th fret, then switch string, D string, finger number 1 on 7, then finger number 3 on 9th fret, and you could finish the next octave with the pinky, finger number 4 on 10th fret. Here's one more time. All right, moving on to the next anchor point. If I have the low E and going towards the G string as the anchor, I'll start with the pinky on fret number 8 on E string, switching to A string, fret 5 with the first finger, then ring finger is 7, pinky is on 8th fret, switch to D string, 5th fret with the first finger, ring finger is 7th fret, switch to G string, 4th fret with your first finger, then middle finger is on 5th fret G. Here it is one more time. All right, moving on to A string, going towards my G string as the anchor. So I'll start on 3rd fret A with the middle finger, then pinky's on 5th fret, then switching to D string, 2nd fret index finger, 3rd fret middle finger, then 5th fret pinky. Switch to G string, 2nd fret with first finger, ring finger is 4th fret, then pinky is on 5th fret. Here's one more time. Okay, if I were to imagine A string going towards my B string, here's the fingering. Ring finger starts on 3rd fret A, then you go open D string, then 2nd fret on D with the middle finger, ring finger goes on 3rd fret, switch to G string, open, then middle finger goes 2nd fret, open B string, and finish with 1st finger on 1st fret B string. Alright, moving on to our next string set. If I have the D string as the anchor, here's going towards the B string. I have the middle finger on 10th fret D, pinky is on 12th fret D, 1st finger is G string 9, then middle finger is on 10th fret G, pinky is on 12th fret G, 1st finger on 10th fret B string, middle finger on 12th fret B, and ring finger is on 13th fret B. Okay, moving on, if I have the D string as the anchor and going towards the high E string, here's the finger, starting with pinky on 10th fret D string, 7th fret G string with the 1st finger, ring fingers on 9th fret G, pinky is on 10th fret G, middle finger goes 8th fret B, pinky is on 10th fret B, 1st finger goes high E string 7th fret, and finish with middle finger high E string 8th fret. And lastly, here's the G string as the anchor, going towards the high E string as the next anchor. Start on the G string with your 1st finger 5th fret. Ring finger goes 7th fret G string. Switch to B string 5th fret with your 1st finger. Then 6th fret with the middle finger. Pinky on the 8th fret. Switch to E string 5th fret with the 1st finger, ring finger is 7, then pinky on the 8th fret. Notice here I have not quite introduced slides, vibrato, or any other expression technique. I am purely using alternate picking when I'm mapping anchor to anchor. The goal here is to see the pathways clearly, like tracing the roads on a map. So why practice this way? When you play horizontally on one string, you learn the distance between notes, which is powerful. But when it comes to making music, you don't always want to leave 7 and 8 frets across the neck. Anchor to anchor is like walking block by block through a neighborhood. The houses are different in each neighborhood, but they all serve the same purpose. The scale information doesn't change, only the shape you see under your fingers. Now let's make this a bit more musical by working with a motif, which is a short, memorable phrase. To keep it fun, I'm gonna use one of my favorite motifs. It's a little idea from SpongeBob. You've probably heard it before. It goes something like this. So if we were to imagine in terms of degree, it is 1st degree, 7th degree, 1st degree, 2nd degree, finish on 1st degree. In C major, that's C, B, C, D, C. Now here's the point. The motif is always the same, but every neighborhood gives a little different feel. I'll play this in the first neighborhood, where it's low E string going towards the D string. Now I'll move it to another anchor to anchor section. Could also do it here. It's the same sound, same intervals, just different house shapes in different neighborhoods. and this is how you prove the fretboard is all connected. Once you can play the SpongeBob motif in different neighborhoods, bring it to life with expression technique. Just to give you some ideas, you could hammer on from the 7th to the 1st degree. You could pull off when you come back from 2nd degree to the 1st. You could also slide into the root to start the phrase. You could also bend into the 2nd degree. Or you could add vibrato when you land on the 1st degree. It's the same motif, but now it syncs. This is the difference between practicing the scale and making music with it. When you get to the closed scale practice for this lesson, go ahead and pick one anchor connection and walk it through alternate picking only. See if you could play the SpongeBob motif in that neighborhood until it feels natural. Then shift it to another neighborhood and repeat. And this way you're building accuracy and consistency in every part of the fretboard. When you get to the open scale practice, play along with the backing track. You could divide the backing track in minute segments. The first minute, you could just connect the anchors cleanly with alternate picking. Then the second segment, you could play the SpongeBob motif using those expression techniques: hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, bends, vibrato. Then lastly, you could even make up your own motif and try to respond back to the SpongeBob motif. And remember, if you get lost, land on the anchor note with vibrato. Anchors always bring you back home. To wrap up, here's your assignment for this particular lesson. In closed scale practice, map the C major scale, anchor to anchor with alternate picking only. Then practice the SpongeBob motif in every neighborhood of that fretboard. When you get to the open scale practice, play along with the track, going anchor to anchor connections, play the motif across each neighborhood, and then you could play the same motif or a different motif, just making it a bit more expressive. Once you could do this, the fretboard starts to feel like one connected system, just different neighborhoods with different house shapes.